also today on Capitol Hill. More than 1,000 protesters lined the halls of Capitol Hill yesterday. Many of them were also arrested. 60 of them were arrested. One of those, of course, is Dr. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, often a guest on our show, leadership strategist, and also Reverend Cherie Dickerson. She's co-founder of Black Lives Matter Oklahoma. Both of them join us there in D.C. First of all, Avis and Cherie, it give us a sense of what it was like in terms of the tension and all of that on Capitol Hill as folks were making their way down the hallway, senators coming out with breaks, having to walk the gauntlet of protesters.
I want to give that a start.
It was very tense, Mr. Martin. However, the support and the solidarity that was shared with myself and the other protesters was absolutely amazing and very humbling. It was a life-changing experience for myself, and I've been involved in other actions before. But yesterday was definitely different, and today was certainly historic.
Avis?
Absolutely. I mean, it was palpable that the people who were there because they had some sort of personal connection to this issue. But it's not to say that it was all women. I mean, there were women there, there were men there, there were people, black people, people of every race and ethnicity that you can imagine. And so this is an issue that cuts across America, and everyone could see the blatant unfairness of just ramrodding this nominee through when such serious allegations have been made without even having a very real hearing to really tease out all of the facts rather than just put on the kabuki theater that I would argue that they put on the other day.
People say protests don't matter. It mattered in this case when it came to that elevator confrontation.
Absolutely it mattered. Absolutely it mattered. And it mattered because, you know, Flake is one of these people that likes to set himself up as a Republican who is more moderate, as someone who would actually maybe listen and try to bring the two sides together. Now, historically, he's done this through very flowery speeches, but when it comes to actually voting, he tends to vote to the right. So it was he really did need an intervention, and I think today he got one.
Cherie.
Yes. Nonviolent protests have always been successful, in my opinion, and we can think about some of the most notable protests that have occurred, especially those that have been led by Black women. And so we are continuing to be an integral part of this process and in bringing change.
Look, we now have a week. The FBI is going to do their investigation. They're going to interview various witnesses. What do you think is going to happen over the next 7 days?
It will be interesting to see. We know that Mark Judge is going to be a primary witness that needs to be interviewed. But who else? How broad is this going to go out? Will the interviewees extend beyond even those that are connected to the Blasey Ford case? Will they extend to the other allegations? Exactly how much information will be collected? And then what will happen with that information? You know, I am hoping that once this is done, that the senators actually do take some deep consideration of what's found. And ultimately, to be perfectly honest, I still would have loved to have had Mark Judge in there for questioning, because making a statement and having someone read a statement is one thing, but seeing someone in the flesh and having that person answer questions in real time can really go a long way towards really being able to determine whether or not that person is telling the truth.
Do you also expect that protesters will continue putting the pressure on? Do you expect them to continue to show up? The House members, they've all gone home to prepare for the midterms, but the senators, they're still there.
I believe that is going to happen. What I'm hoping is going to happen, since Kavanaugh showed how emotional he could get under a little bit of pressure, is that he's going to rescind his nomination because he doesn't want the FBI in his business and the truth to be revealed.
Absolutely. There's a reason why he didn't want them to go there in the first place. Absolutely.